And welcome everybody to a Wednesday edition of War Commander Unshackled. Uh, we'll get in topic about this a little later, but there's going to be a change. So we have our updates, downtime, and release note show for Wednesday, 4/25, which if you can't tell by the funny way that I crossed out those words in the title, is not going to be an update release note show. But what we do have to talk about is some other exciting things, and I want to bring to the forefront some changes that have occurred over the last couple of months. And with me, I am very, very pleased and happy to have a panel of knowledgeable war commanders. I have Dark Shadows. I have Fear the Peel, a Banana Republic member. I have not showing Mr. Bean. He's actually playing the event as we speak. I have Robbie, and I have the real Slim Shady and myself, Venom.
Hey, wait a second. Who the hell lied to you about being knowledgeable?
Right? You have a bunch of noobs. This is a noob show. We need to get some knowledgeable people, and we need to get the hell off this thing.
this show primarily is going to talk about,
especially. I mean, goddamn.
I know.
Freaking lightweight.
No, but I'm hopefully having you guys help me out. I wanted to do a show because a gentleman not in the forums, I guess. I was just on the Unshackled page, but I think he went in the forums as well. Was talking about he had taken a hiatus from the game for a couple of months, and he came back not realizing that if you remove your damaged units from your defense platoon and you try to put damaged units into your base defense, it won't go. No bueno. And that kind of upset him. So I thought maybe it would be about time, because we can't talk about a current update, since there is no update notes until tomorrow, that we could rehash some old updates and possibly bring recurring or bring changes back to the forefront of players that might not have realized. At the same time, we'll start off the discussion with current events, and then we'll slowly pander back to old shit. So I'm going to present Fear here because he's playing the event, which is cool. So speaking of, you guys enjoy the event so far. We've been extended one extra day because of the emergency downtime.
Very much needed.
Not needed, but I'm just finally using up all my repeats for once.
Okay.
It was definitely needed with all the problems they had on the first day.
What, the turrets firing faster than they're supposed to?
Yeah, I'd never known that the Overwatch could be a machine gun. And there it was, right in front of me.
By the way,
it honestly wasn't that bad. I mean, it all depends on what units you used and how quick you are on the mouse and whatnot. But
it also was extra bad as far as performance for me. I was having trouble with the game loading and stuff.
I didn't, honestly. I played from two different computers, two different networks completely. Didn't have any problems. I mean, other than, the standard load of taking 15 to 30 seconds on, depending on which base you went into. And then after you do the first three attacks, the 5-minute load time and going back into your base. I'm yeah. And it didn't matter which computer I was on or which network I was on. So, but other than that, I mean, I actually enjoyed it. I was actually in bed for 2 days straight, so I didn't get to play much the first 2 days of it.
Oh, there you go. That was basically what I was going to get to. So you didn't play the first 2 days.
I played Thursday, but Friday and Saturday I was in bed. I came on, for maybe 5 minutes just to make sure repairs from Thursday were going and upgrades were going, and that was about it.
Okay.
Now, I do have one glitch. I'm sorry to say, Kickside, this is annoying. After the first defense wave, my metal and oil went to 0. What the hell?
Okay, so all the metal and oil that you had in your base stored just dropped to 0?
Mm-hmm. I had
That's awesome.
I had 11 million on each roughly, and now it's down to 0, literally.
You didn't meet minimum requirements.
No, I
penalized you.
Yeah, no, it's done this quite a few times.
That's no good. That's definitely ticket worthy. Another thing, if you have a previous screenshot or video or whatever in recent,
I'm honestly, for my level, I can go hit a freaking 30 if I need.
It's not the point. If you send in a ticket, you might be reimbursed with free oil and metal. They'll fill it up for you.
Fuck that shit. I do that on Sundays.
It's the principle. It is purely the principle. Oh, Hunter, did you start the first day, or did you wait several days before you commenced the event? And by the way, Slim Shady, from Wolfie, he says you're a bitch.
I know I'm a bitch, and he's a cunt. It's just the way we work.
Keep it classy, gentlemen.
I had to say it.
You have to be in the circle to understand. You have to be in the circle.
I understand it, but
that's Hunter. That's probably why you did not receive the first 50.
Yeah, if you didn't play, you had to play the first freaking day.
Wolfie says yes. Thank you. He knows.
He knows.
All right. So
anyway, on that one,
David, you didn't play the very first. Well, you didn't start right off the bat.
I came in like 4 or 5 hours after the event started, so I did do. I went up to I think 60 on the faction track, and I was like, and I went to bed.
Fear the Peel. You're just now starting the event, correct? You didn't play up until today?
No, I did.
You did a little bit? Okay.
Yeah. I've done two run-throughs so far. This is my third.
All right. You pretty much did start around the first or second day when the major problems were occurring, or no?
I think it was the second day. I did actually no, I take that back. First day I went through and I did one Omega Sea Squadron drop because I needed to get 24 parts. And I got them all in that first drop. And then I didn't actually start my event, I think, till the second or third day. And I only did up to the 30, and then I went back, and next day I came back and did a full finish the clear or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't. I haven't put too much time into it.
Do you ever?
I used to, not anymore.
You used to.
Robbie, go ahead, David. Sorry.
He used to could.
Used to. Robbie, I had to mute you because you were getting the feedback again. But please, did you start the first day, second day, or did you just start recently?
I started first day as soon as I got off work, and I didn't really have any problems. Actually, it's I'm the only one who did not have problems.
Okay.
No problems whatsoever. It's weird.
All right, good. That's what I wanted to know. Slim, about you, did you start the first day, second day? You typically hold out to the second day at least, right?
No. I'm a bitch. We've been over this. I was watching the live show. I got
forgot about that.
I got on after the live show and started. I had problems the first day because this event was last event. It was really hard to but once you figure out the bases, every single base was easy. This one, only first half of them are super easy for my level player. But now I can do everything up to the 60 except the 55 easy. I haven't had any problems with repair after the first couple times I did it. I think it's a much more well-tuned event as far as difficulty, because while it's hard for me, overall it's very well balanced as far as easy at the beginning and then it slowly ramps up.
All right, so as an aspect, you know where your limitations should be in an event by this point. You've been playing long enough, and it's not like it's putting you out of the game on wave 5. It's putting you out of the game at a distance that you would expect to achieve.
I mean, I got a little help with a couple of the bases, and shout out to those people who helped me. But I got a little help. I got all the way to the 80, and though 80 should be a one-hit base, I really think that it was a well-skilled difficulty base as long as you went into it and kind of knew what you were getting at. You know, if you knew that you were going to get, you know, as soon as you spawned, that was a one-hit base. If you had the shock op running, it really made it a lot easier. And those things, if you knew that, you know, each one of those trophies had 80 million health and that it's kind of important to kill those, you know, you should have been all right. And I was able to get through the event twice so far.
Right,
I did not know it was a one-hit base when I first did it.
Someone should have watched the event show.
Yeah, exactly.
It did it and was like, and he wasn't running electric op.
Yeah, and I wasn't running, so I figured I'd, you know, muck around and test some shit in it, and then I went, you know, finished my attack, went back in, everything's repaired, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Right.
Yeah,
That'll teach you.
At least you didn't blow a whole bunch of missiles, leave to go get more resources and build missiles, and come back and gotta do it again.
Who did that?
Rambo.
Yeah, he did not. He was not aware. Actually, I think he was aware that it was a one hit and just did it out of habit and caught himself offline. So those of us, we pretty much did play from the issues up until recent. Did any of you see a noticeable benefit as disconnects and lag and loading issues and the slow loads? Has that improved since the downtime earlier today?
Looks like it a little bit.
Yeah, I can definitely feel it. And as long as, you know, you make sure you keep your computer running good and you have relatively all right internet, then there shouldn't be any problems with the event.
Okay. All right. Same with you, Robbie. You think it's running pretty smooth and out there in YouTube land?
Yeah, it's been running pretty good. I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of problems. I didn't have problems, period, really.
Yeah, you're pretty much the same page as me. I didn't have a whole lot of difficulty. I had a little bit of, you know, slow loading, but and obviously the units trying to do their little thing when you don't want them to. But other than that, I was able to load into the game when I wanted to play throughout the few days. It's not like I was locked out.
No,
I
hear you.
All right, so let's see. Slim, you did 2 full run-throughs. Fear, you've done what? This is your third or fourth run-through?
This is my third.
Third. David, how many go-throughs? How many passes have you had?
Well, technically 2.5. I just said I got so tired of doing it, honestly, and my mindset wasn't in there, so I just said screw it. After I got what was it, 13 or 12 or something like that of the new planes, I just said screw it. I went and bought the rest of them.
Okay, all right. So Robbie, how many full runs do you think you have under your belt? This is a segue to what my
full runs. I usually don't do the full event.
Well,
I usually just repeat once I get the restart token, because fuck it. Why am I going to waste all my units in the freaking high-low bases when I can just pound out the little stuff, get all the shit I need?
How many go-throughs to that position did you do? Do you know off the top of your head?
Let's see. Let's count the envoys. 7, going on 8.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Oh,
That's remarkable.
yeah, that's
So
not bad at all.
yeah, I did enough to get my I did enough to get my full infinite build of a unit. As I always say, a unit like this, until it's really made its presence known, I don't really intend on ever building an unlimited number. I'm not going to send nothing but one unit at a base in any aspect, be it PvP or PvE. So I don't know the point of this, collect so many. I like the fact that you collect so many and it's unlimited. I like more so the fact that you just unlock the unit like we used to. And you just build as many as you're able to hold. And
I just wish that I could build an infinite amount of these things because I really like them. For anyone that knows me, I really enjoy long range shit.
Well, your ass needs to get busy, and you need to go through 15 times up to faction 60.
Oh no, I only need to get through one more.
Okay.
I have to do up to 60 and I'll have the unlimited. But I want to actually be able to build an infinite amount, and we can't We can't with, of course, storage constraints. I want I want to send an infinite number of these envoys at someone's base and just laugh.
Right, that ain't gonna happen. But, I mean, they give you the infinite build, so that way, if you decide you want to put in all your air platoons, you know, that's the only.
I know it's not really possible in the game, but wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't
it be nice?
Nice too. Yeah, we're not gonna sing that song. But no, yeah. So out there on YouTube, that I hope everybody at least got in enough hours seat time to get what they wanted, met their goals. I did way. I'm with David. I did more than I actually wanted to. No Beach Boys. You got it, Roy. I did way more than I wanted to do. I can admit I got very bored in it. And today and yesterday, I literally did not participate in the event itself for any other purpose than to just kill time in between the drops of the Siege Squadron bases. And in the interim of real life, having to go out to the CVS to get medication and pick up my wife from work, I missed the fucking drops. So I'm waiting on yet another hopeful drop for the Siege Squadron so I can start collecting parts.
Wait, you're telling me you weren't quote sick during the event and couldn't leave your room?
Now, no. my question for you is, Venom, how many parts have you been getting?
1, 3, 5. That's my total so far. 1, 1, 3, 5.
You want me to tell you how many I've gotten?
I don't want to know. It's going to upset me.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
I don't want to know. See, that's
I've only gotten one part every freaking time I've done a base, and I finally just said, "Fuck it."
How many bases did you do?
I've done 6 total.
That's it.
Yeah,
6 total and 6 individual parts.
And I got 6 individual parts. I'm like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
I gave up. I gave up for right now.
So, did you do any last event, or is it just this event?
I did more than that in the first drop. Got 24 parts.
Well, then next event you're going to be doing my fucking event just for Omega parts, okay?
No, I'm in the same boat as you, David. I did not do last event at all, so this is the first time I did them. When I got the first part, and then I got the first part or the second part singular, I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I made that half lighthearted, pissy rant thing. RNG is not for me.
No, this is not for once. I mean, I normally used to get when I was all the other Omega bases except for which base anyway. But I mean, it's like I was getting 5, 5, 7, 5, 3. Like, okay, that's great. Now this one is 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah,
screw it.
Yeah, I don't mind like 1, 3, 7, 1, 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, 7. That kind of stuff. I don't mind it being truly oddball. But when we get into cases like yourself and what's happened in the past with the single for a ridiculous amount of time, and then all of a sudden you get 3. I mean,
you're
obviously
you're dancing a jig on your damn desk at that point.
I'm just saying, if it's truly random, then there is going to be statistically at least one person that has that one all the way through.
No, but it shouldn't be. No, it should not be random per person. It should be individually randomized. Is the point?
Yeah. Well, who was the last? Which unit was it that fuck you did? That it was one part every time he hit the base.
I think that was the Phantom.
80 freaking bases to get that damn unit. I think it was Herald. I think it was.
Yeah, it could have been the Herald. It could have been the Herald. That's again. I'm waiting on those. Come on, Kixeye, with those elite Herald bases. Come on, Kixeye. I just need 6 or 7 more freaking parts, and then I've got my Omega Herald. Because I already got the Omega parts. No, I already got the Omega parts. If I get the elites, then I got the Omega. Because it's
okay.
Boom, boom, done.
Yeah. No. But then you got to upgrade.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind the upgrade.
And you got a new unit to upgrade, too, on top of that. So.
Yeah, Yeah, it's kind of bothering me because I want to upgrade my Herald, but I can't because I want to upgrade the Envoy, but I can't because I want to upgrade the Sphinx, but I can't.
Just remember this, though. Your hangar has to be maxed in order to go past level 13 or 12.
13, I believe, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that again. Go ahead.
I was say it depends on whatever level your hangar
Hangar.
is what level you can take up your units, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13 at 13, 14 at 14, and max at 15 or whatever it is, 20.
Yeah, which is kind of bullshit, honestly. But
well,
It is-
that again, this is a topic that I'm glad you guys are here for because this is what we wanted to discuss and share with the players that have been gone for a while.
it is what it is. The power updates, honestly. I mean, if you were producing more power before this update, you should still be producing more power. I've also said on Discord to both, to Bernie at least, give us an incentive to put our power plants on overdrive. Give us a little, firing boost. It doesn't have to be much, just a little to give us that incentive to put them on overdrive. Because if they get destroyed on overdrive, they're gonna explode.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are
I
people
don't
out
know.
there.
I really hope that they'll evaluate because they took a lot of power out of the base, but then they added a bunch more in via extending the amount of power the defensive structures need.
Well,
Right,
let's put it this way: your defense lab is using 5K power,
and
All
it
right.
should not be after this next update. The defense lab will not take as much, correct?
I'm not sure. Your go-go bar is using 5K power. You put a missile bastion in your base, another 5K power.
Yeah, they lowered the amount of shit that needs power, but then they raised everything else.
Well, yeah, but hear me out. This is the issue, and this has got to be discussed properly. So, David, you're 100% right, and Slim, you're 100% right. But the problem is, this upgrade, this new system has not been completely installed.
No, it has not.
David's right. You've got buildings that currently are using a lot of power. You've got buildings doing processes. When they do those processes, that adds to the power drain. Right?
No, it does not. If you're building a unit, it does not take power away.
Not building a unit, but doing certain things, upgrades to certain things.
It used to, though.
It's still in some cases because I'm still seeing power draw when I'm doing things. When I have more buildings running different applications, I'm seeing my power draw go up, and my production stays stale.
Yeah, I never noticed that because I have shit running 24/7. I never stop.
But I've sat there and I've watched it right now. I've stopped a couple of builds because I needed the res for my next upgrade. And like the War Factory used to draw power when building. The airfield used to draw power when building. Now it's not.
Okay, so possibly in this latest update or this latest downtime when they drop this in, maybe they did change that because I haven't been paying attention today. I'm talking 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
All right. So I will definitely take it back to that and concede that you're probably more than likely right. Point being, though there is going to be a dramatic change in, as David points out, what buildings will no longer require power. Until that's 100% done, you're going to see fluctuations across all the players. Certain players used to produce just enough power. There was a person who had exactly what he needed to run every day. He needed 105K, and he produced 105K. So this change that they've done put him under, which meant he started off the bat at like 70% or 80% instead of 100%. Then you take away killing one of his power plants in a PvP battle, and now he's going to drop below and be in that range where he might not be supplied with enough power to keep his turrets running at full speed. Go ahead.
You took me off present, I think.
Yeah, I know, because you were on you weren't in widescreen. You were showing all the YouTube stuff, and I didn't know if there's anything that might pop up objectionable.
Oh no, I always do that just to quickly check.
I know.
It's usually,
I know.
It's usually fine.
I mean, I never know what somebody's going to type in there that could be, thrown.
It'll be
You're
fine.
back playing. You're fine. I know. I'm playing by the rules of a person above me who wants to make sure things run above board. So
Shadow's fine.
No, it's not Shadow Killer. I'm not scared of Shadow Killer. I can outrun his moped. I have a smartphone. I can make airline reservations. His flip phone can't do that.
Poor Venom.
No, I love SK.
Hey!
Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Don't knock the flip phones because Samsung's coming back out with one.
Forget that, man. I'm gonna get the holographic phone. Fuck that. Red is coming out with their phone. I love their camera equipment. And if they're making a phone that has a holographic display, and I can watch friggin' shit in 3D holograms.
Porn in 3D.
Nah, you don't want to see that on a cell phone. That's too small.
It's supposed
unless of course it's Shadow's favorite type.
Oh, what?
Yeah, okay. All right, back on topic.
With pineapple pizza.
Pineapple pizza, yes. I can order pineapple pizza and look at it in 3D and see what toppings I added on the app for Pizza Hut or Panzones or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so we have that aspect where buildings will no longer take power. So when that's all hashed out and finalized, you're going to see that your power that you're producing does meet the requirements because no longer is your power going to be drawn off to other things. However, as Slim pointed out, because they're shifting this, they're taking the power that otherwise was being drained off by one building or one thing and function, and they're making a function that still uses power. They're making it require more than it did before. So it's in a way, it is kind of in a way to cater to Kixeye. It's going to make us all have to upgrade our power plants a little bit here and there. That's cool. As far as the running your power plants on overdrive and having them explode and go nuclear and have a meltdown when they get destroyed, I think that's awesome. I really do. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wasn't shocked and thought, oh shit, now I got to redesign my base again, which is true. I don't like a big wide spread out base. I like a very consolidated base, but at the same time, I like running my power plants on overdrive, specifically during events, during things like Onslaught and Invasion. So it definitely hinders a player like me if I'm going to have my power plants close to my CC and my bunkers and all my other stuff, and then I'm going to have them running on overdrive, and the wave comes at me on the final wave, and I'm not prepared, and it clips one of those power plants, and boom, a corner of my base is gone.
A quarter? Your whole base for you.
Haha, very funny. True, but fun. But I mean, you guys have different base designs. You guys spread your bases out.
Well,
you do sometimes. You have a different design than I do.
Bullshit, I do.
Mine is compressed.
Okay.
If my power plants went boom, more than just a quarter of my base would be gone. I'd lose like 70%, including my CC.
I feel like flat.
Including my CC.
I broke down and I went completely against everything that I like about designing, and I've moved my power plants out, put them in positions where they're a little bit more exposed. I'm not going to keep them on overdrive during like now or during a war time or anything like that, but they'll be in overdrive when I do my events for like Warpath and whatnot. Not Warpath, but Invasion and whatnot. But it made me spread out my base. Now I don't have full base expansion, and I would, again, broken record, squeaky wheel gets the grease. I would hope that Kixeye has it in their hearts to do an expansion package all the way up the entire rung, not just the lower levels, but for every player in the game who might be of a higher level and may have gotten one or two expansions during the previous sales, to allow them to have a sale that benefits them again, a year or two after they gave us a little touch of a cheaper expansion. Maybe now you can give the next 2 or 3 levels in that expansion pass a little discount, make it kind of titillating for a person like myself to spend less than 300 gold for the expansion. Maybe, make it 150 instead of 300. Just saying. 200 instead of 500 or whatever the hell the next one is after that.
I'm just saying make them all 10 gold so that I can buy them all and with the gold I got from the event.
No, I would never do that. I would never say slash it to some ridiculous amount. I'm an honest player. I want them to make their ends meet. Specifically in the fact that it's not real money and it's not a real thing. It's just a video game. But I want them to make something out of it.
Yeah, they need to make their ends meet. They need to pay their bills. I mean, I can understand it. I mean, as it is, you got reduction in repair costs now, depending on the level of certain buildings. But big time for PvP plats, and that's what this game is about. Really, playing PvP. You're gonna want to go level somebody's base, and if max buildings. Yeah. So,
but yeah, I mean, it's. In theory, I'd like to see a discount because because they are sort of pushing us to a point where making us have to move things out of harm's way means you're kind of putting us on the edge that we've got to do an expansion. And yes, you're going to get the expansion out of us because that is specifically monetarily unique. You can't do the expansions from completing a task. You can't get a base expansion by unlock. You have to get the base expansion through purchase. And because of that, if you're going to force that upon us and say you're in a free-to-play model, you don't necessarily have to make it free for the base expansion, but you could show a little bit of heart and do a discount weekend or something, 24, 72 hours where base expansion is a little bit less expensive, let players know about it and get their gold up, go out and purchase a package and do the expansion.
In advance would be nice, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, an idea for Kickstarter, they do the gold 50% off purchase. How about base expansion 50% off?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, welcome, Roy Boy.
What's up, everybody? Trying to be quiet over here. Let you guys do your thing too.
Hey, this is a family-friendly show. You can
family-friendly. That is such crap.
Oh, that is such.
It is when I'm running it because our family is a fucking psycho ward.
Okay, I'll tell you what. My family is completely nuts. So yeah, I go off that.
Every family is. Every family.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to see how I did the drop since they literally are going on right now.
Oh, you've got your 1K bases going, huh?
Yeah, so sure. I didn't know if you guys wanted to see that or not. If
you want to show, we're always happy to have anybody who wants to ever screen share legitimate tactical play is always welcome.
This is what I would call when I did the drops I did in the first event. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes a lot of resource the way I do it, but
what's your basic strategy and units?
Take out the towers and then go in with phalanx.
Okay, yeah, similar to what I was doing.
You don't really. You can just go straight in with phalanx. The phalanx don't take too much damage from those towers, especially if
depends on your.
I could do like 12 bases with 2 tunes of phalanx. And that was me trying to leave them a lot, trying to leave something behind, which is always a bigger pain in the ass because, trying to give it to somebody.
Would you please be a deer and expand that to full screen?
Yeah, I keep forgetting that crap.
That's okay. I do the same shit too. But I always look up at my TV monitor, and I know when I'm looking at a technical and it looks tiny, if you go full screen, it's like it doubles in size for the viewer.
Well, my problem is I'm trying to keep up with the point of my PMs, and one of my players, she just went into the hospital. Again, 2 times in less than in 2 days. She's got to have surgery. She just got home, and she already went back. So I was trying to keep up with her PMs too. So it's like. No,
I totally respect that. We all have our family, friends, and members and game cohorts that are dealing with issues. We've got, our own Lonnie. He's got his surgeries to come up with, and
as you can see, all I'm doing is hitting these towers.
So you drop 4 missiles per base.
But I have a lot of resource stashed. I hold a lot of resource.
That's a lot of res, though. That's a lot of res and a lot of thought.
Yeah, but Roy
is nothing.
sits on it. To him, it's nothing.
Thor is nothing. I'll show you what I'm sitting on right now, and I've spent a ton just goofing off.
Yeah, I know. It's easy to get Thor. I mean, I can get about a billion Thor in like 1 hour.
I haven't hit a 60 for this event at all. I haven't hit anything. I have not. And yes, you can end attack and get away from all the Ravengers. I'm just being lazy and just pounding through it real quick.
See, what I was doing was I was taking, because I have my new toy and I wanted to see what it was capable of. So I was taking my Darkstorm and I just targeted it to go to the center of the base, and then I run my Phalanx inside the aura and just keep sweeping, and I mopped it all up. And as you said, I get 10 or 12 bases I could do with a platoon if I wanted to. I didn't have the time to do it with the first drop. I only got in, my 4 bases before the timer ran out and they went up. But yeah, the amount of damage was so negligible.
Normally,
you get 6 bases with that one turn?
No, normally I end attack and don't have to go after all these Ravengers. But yeah, normally you can get six bases, no problem.
I get 4 and I don't take out any of the things. Like if you skirt around the outside of the base with your Phalanx and you ignore that front section and the middle section, you skirt around the outside, you can get 4 bases per turn.
Normally when I end attack and restart attack, there's no Ravagers, so I can just go around the outside. This time I was just powering through, but I want to just you're talking about getting Thor? I have got so much damn Thor stashed.
I know Thor's easy to get, but like all that res
I haven't got any from the event because I prepped beforehand. I mean, right now, let's just take a look at what's in my airfield alone. Just my airfield alone, I'm sitting on 11 of the new planes, and I've already built some.
Yeah, I know. Thor's easy to get, but still, using it all like that. I mean,
got some there. I don't know if I still got stems. Don't get no stash there.
I haven't dropped a single missile all event.
Fear the Peel, like myself, we're not big fans of missiles. We just if Fear and if they took missiles out of the game, we wouldn't even miss a heartbeat.
I mean, I still got more res, and I haven't got res. I haven't done anything. I was just doing that quick and fast because I was just trying to muscle through it. But I mean, it's not. Getting Thor is not a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. And you're not just sitting there missile spamming, you're actually strategically using them, which is awesome.
I haven't even, what's even funny is I haven't even touched a Thor base in a while because usually even like after the event, we'll go on a jump and usually I get filled up from enemies.
But here's my question. What are you trying to avoid by taking out the
breaches in there actually hurt the Phalanx quite a bit.
If you keep it the right distance, they never hit you, so that you never have to worry about them.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier. Like when I'm trying to leave the base, for somebody else, you try to stay away from certain spots. Like I try to leave the airfield and just do the outside when I end attack and go back in and don't have to deal with so many Ravengers. It's really easy just, to go into those areas and leave that center cone. And that's normally what I was doing. This time I just didn't end attack. I just wanted to get going because when I'm doing the show, the loading time sucks.
Okay, yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, that's a good thing, and this is what I wanted to bring up. Did you watch the briefing room, Bernie's recent podcast?
Yes, I listened to it and was trying not to laugh.
Well, yeah, there's funny to it, but there was actually some very poignant points. I wanted to do this show. Obviously, you're in the same boat. We didn't get our update notes tonight, so
yeah.
They did lend some important pieces of information. One of those being, as I said before, they were trying to. They discussed possibly redesigning how images are rendered, which is to help promote better performance.
They also recommended going to Game Room. That way you get rid of a lot of the advertisements and a lot of the junk on the side that 90% of these search engines definitely have.
But they also
the other thing he also recommended is going zoomed out or full screen.
Yep.
The smaller
definitely full screen.
The smaller the items, the less it takes.
I play full screen and zoomed out all the time.
Same.
I can't play. The game doesn't work if I play if I'm
zoomed in,
not full screen like this. Like, look, as soon as I went to it, it just froze up completely.
Same here. Going back and forth from the zoom, it just locks.
Not from the zoom, but just like not being full screen. Like once I enter full screen, I lose so many of my lag issues.
Okay.
Which doesn't really make much sense when you kind of think about it, but like that's what it is.
Well, the only thing that seems to be screwing me up during the event is going back into my base, and I'll get the double load of my base. That has been probably the biggest bite in my ass yet.
Mm-hmm.
And as I keep asking Kickside, why is it double loaded? If my base loads once, why is it got to go back? And no, I can't get a clear answer from customer support. So,
well, some of these things go back to a previous statement in a different Bernie's briefing room, and I know we had Dr. Phil came on to try to explain some of this, which he explained a lot. I think he was a little off on one of the comments he made, but that was just my personal opinion. But part of that has to do with, as he put it, the checksums system. So as the game is being loaded and cached in your computer, it goes through a series of checks to make sure that there's no errors being set through and there's no manipulation occurring, and it kind of weeds out any incomplete data. If the data is complete, the game goes to the next step and it renders, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this all takes place in a very, very rapid time frame. Now, what was referred to, and this is where I differ in my opinion from what Dr. Phil had said, what was referred to on that podcast was that although the game and all the information has already been downloaded onto your computer and it's going through the processes of checking the information and making sure it's validated, you see a loading bar, which was the topic at that time. In your case, talking now, it's more or less loading the base and then reloading that same sprite sheet and re-rendering everything. But what was stated in that former podcast was, you see this bar go up 80%, blah, 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 blah. That bar is bullshit. It's something to keep us preoccupied while the process is already been done and the tests are already taking place and they're making sure that you are legitimate and everything's going to be rendered properly, and you're not trying to pass something through that's not supposed to be there, okay, for lack of a better term. But it gives us something to take our time off and watch it go through this 80%, 90%, whatever. When it hangs up, it is something's not quite right, or it took too long for something on your computer's CPU to process. And so it basically tries to reload everything. And as he put it back then, if I can recall, not that my memory is any good, if something happens and it doesn't go through this process fast enough, or it gets hung up at some point, it will basically drop that entire system and try to do it again. And when it does that second time, that's when you start getting those red box errors, that dropped off errors, the game crashes on you and you got to restart the whole processes all over again. Now, the problem with this, and what was not directly said, and I am playing devil's advocate, I'm not kissing ass, but if there is a problem where your computer, mine in New Jersey, is transferring information to California to their server system, and somewhere between here, Kentucky, Tennessee, and freaking Texas, there is a hang up in one of the poles on one of the fiber optic lines, any one of those jumps from place to place could cause me to get that time where it's taking too long for the process to occur and I get dropped. So that explains a little bit, and it's basically, I find it half bullshit, but it's basically a way that Kickside can skirt responsibility for certain issues when players can't get into game.
You know that famous "send me a trace route" crap is just exactly what.
Yeah, I understand. It's like getting your IP.
That trace route does actually give viable information.
Yeah, wait a minute. It does. Wait a minute. The time they send that ticket back, asking for a trace route, you realize your route has changed.
Yes, and that the reason what we should say and stress is if you're sending a ticket and the ticket's based on an issue that you're well aware of is a connectivity issue or a data information issue, do your trace route, learn how to do this. Isn't there a forum post out somewhere?
Oh yeah, just type in trace route. It'll pop up like 10 times.
So type in trace route in the forums. It'll explain how you do it for those who don't know. And do the process and send that information off with your ticket preemptively. So this way you have a trace route that is current to the issue, because Roy is 100% right, and Kicksai's response on their customer service becomes half bullshit, because if you have a flat tire and then you go and have it, go to the repair shop an hour and a half later to have it fixed, and then they ask you to give them information on the street that you got the flat tire on an hour ago, things have changed. So it's like you can't go back in time on your computer and pull that data up and give it to them. You can only give them a trace route from the current time frame. And that is bullshit for the cause of what you actually have, because you might have had an issue then that doesn't show up now, and they're going to say, well, we don't see the issue. And then they're not going to want to help you. Or they're going to give you an answer that isn't actually accurate to the cause of the real cause of the situation in the first place.
Well, my favorite is when 7 or 8 people that are playing all over the world all of a sudden have the same problem, but yet let's run a trace route on that one line, and that's going to solve the problem.
Well, that's a good point too. A lot of this, and you can talk about it directly now, memory leak. This is the third time. This is the third time Kicksai has been forced to explain to us in the community that they're currently having server issues, and once their servers literally died. That happened last year before. About a year and a half ago. Their servers literally collapsed, and we had that big issue where it was down, up, down, up, down, up, and that was them taking data and pushing players off of one server onto one that was working because they had such a catastrophic issue. If I recall correctly, I might be off. It might have been something that was more physical, like something happened in their region.
About right.
But
I thought there was like an earthquake and like a bunch of the servers got like knocked over or something.
Well,
I don't remember.
Yeah, something to that effect. But regardless, I remember around the time they were talking about having a memory leak. Now, a memory leak is a systemic problem, and it is 99.999%. And I'm not being an asshole for those who are probably part of Kicksai out there watching. But I'm a deliberately honest person. So from my understanding, 99% of the time, a memory leak is systemic from bad code. There's bad information on the server for this game, and it just erodes the game from the inside out.
Well, they already admitted on the podcast that they do have some bad code.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not you being an asshole. So
I'm just saying.
Anytime we can pull that out,
it's on them. It is entirely on this issue of memory leaks becomes beholden to be entirely on Kicksai. It's on their end.
You got 10 million lines of code programmed in, I can't remember how many different languages.
At least 10.
Exactly.
At least 10 different languages. What do you? No offense.
You're going to have a mess.
You're going to have memory leaks. You're going to have issues.
Absolutely.
Now, the best code in the world. I mean, you're looking at 7-year-old code that has been patched over and over and over again.
Well, look at Facebook. Facebook, when it first came out, they had almost no glitches. Now, sometimes you have loading problems. Your messenger doesn't come up. And the code's getting older, and it's showing its age, and people they're fixing it. Don't get me wrong, Facebook's dumping a ton of money into fixing all that stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean,
just like Kicksai's dumping a ton of money to fix bugs and trying to fix the code.
Absolutely, and this is where I'm going with this.
Exactly.
It's commendable. It is commendable, and I have a lot of respect for Kickside to actually have kept this game running. Period. Like in this recent broadcast on the Bernie's podcast briefing room, they said it's like it was a miracle that it's even up at times.
Well, a lot of games you think about games, by now they would have come out a whole new version. You would have had to buy a whole new game pack or new game itself. By 7 years. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's still here.
No offense. Look at some of the games that are out there. I'm going to say it, World of Warcraft, okay? They have so many different expansion packs.
Yeah, downloadable content, DLC packs.
Yeah, so many different, literally different expansion packs for this game. And, of course, once you download that expansion pack, install it and whatnot, then it's, oh, by the way, here's another update to your game. You're going to be down another hour while we download 60 freaking gigs of information, you know?
Yeah. Well,
and then patch this and then patch that. So,
from my WoW days, I can totally agree. I've got 6 boxes upstairs on a bookcase of WoW, the original, and then the expansion pack.
The point is, though, you're making a valid point. This game is this old. It still runs. We're all still addicted because we're still here.
We're still playing it.
Yeah.
Literally. So, I mean, it is a very addictive game.
We do call them out. We do call them out when they totally drop the ball. That is part of it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But it's because that I love this fucking game, and it's such a good game that I don't want to see it fail. I want it to be the best game it can be.
Exactly. And this is where I come out of this whole debate is with people getting very irate and angry and pissed off right now, especially, you know, we just came out of Command Center 13. We had players that were on the cusp of catching up or on the end of a fully expanded, fully upgraded base. They dropped CC 13 and players were like, oh, God damn it. Here we go. More upgrades.
So,
okay.
Just so everybody knows out there, it is roughly every 6 months we are going to get a CC upgrade. Literally, we will get a CC upgrade every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Why would anybody want them to stop, making upgrades? That means the game's dying. That means they're not investing in, new content. That is a bad thing.
Well, it's not even, you know what, Roy, it's not even investing in new content. People need to understand these upgrades are not entirely about new content. The majority of this, CC13 is a prime example. It was repairing the very bugs that we have issues with.
True.
They dropped CC13, which changed fundamentally the ways certain things worked. They gave us the changing in the tabs. They gave us a streamlined system for moving our units around.
The workshop.
The workshop got repaired. Now, what they have to get fixed right now, and especially in this event as we talk, the leaderboard that was completely rehashed, fixed, and then rebroken.
I can't tell where I'm at.
I really wish I can see what I currently have in XP, because I can look underneath the sign and say I have 137,500 XP, or I can go to leaderboard and says I currently have 137,500 XP. But it won't tell me where I register overall, and it doesn't tell me the cumulative amount of XP that I've earned throughout the entire event.
I'm between 5 and 15. That's all I know.
I don't know, and I don't really care because I don't judge myself in that manner.
The only reason I'm still banging it out is I want to keep trading in the tokens.
That's exactly what I've been doing. I've been literally collecting XP, buying the Envoy tokens, and then immediately hashing them into TEX.
I got my 55 Envoy tokens, and I keep buying more, and I keep trading and bringing it back down to 55 because they're worth 8 a pop.
Exactly. And for those players out there that they're sitting on a ridiculous amount of the Envoy tokens, okay, or collecting a shitload of the tokens that you get throughout the actual event, I want to say this. Don't fear spending some Envoy tokens if you're not in the position of the upgrade path to jump to level 11, level 12, etc., etc. If you're only if your Envoys starting this event, just collecting them now, are only on level 4, and you're going to time these Envoy upgrades out. You've got plenty of time between now and the point where they meet 10 to play the game, spend the time and the resources. Envoy tokens will come again. They will either be in a future event. They will certainly be in either collected as a token in upcoming, invasions or something like that, because they always do. We're going to see Sphinx tokens. We're going to see, all these Gen 3 tokens are going to come. So if you're not in a position where you really need to upgrade and max your Envoy out today, and you know that you're not pushing to do the upgrades to level 10, if you want to trade those in for TEX, this is my personal opinion, you don't have to listen to me. Spend the freaking tokens, turn them into TEX, use them for tokens of generation 1 or 2 units that you might actually want to get maxed out. If you don't have Phalanx maxed out, Technicals maxed out, for those who still use Purifiers maxed out. These units are still very valuable in the game in both the PvP, PvE aspect, and getting those maxed out will let you use them in the events to get more of the Envoy tokens in the future.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I'm getting the tokens now so I don't have to get them later. Because right now,
no, I'm not saying spend all of them. I'm saying if you have the 20 or whatever you want to keep, but you're sitting on so much XP that you could have 50, like Roy says, you're not going to really need all that right off the bat. You can get your Envoys up to level 18 or 17 or 15 or whatever, and still be collecting those tokens in the future.
See, in my mind, if I could get 55, I would get 55.
I got 55. I'm literally going to buy 2 more now and trade them in. And
outside of that, it's okay to scrap them, in my opinion. But if you can get them now because it's so fucking easy to get tokens.
Exactly. This event and the last event last event was even better, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
We don't know how hard the bases are going to be that they bring out to get the tokens for.
And he brings up a valid point. We don't know what they're going to be like.
Yeah, they could be the fucking. You could have to throw like your 3 heavy tunes at it just for 1 token, and that may not be worth it.
If you get them
now, you're good.
Shh, don't give them ideas.
Hey, I'm just saying, get them while you can, because in my opinion, having the top tier stuff now, even if you can't use it like me, it's gonna help you in the long run.
Yeah, or you could do like I do and get yourself screwed over where you've got Omega parts but don't have all the elite parts and you're just sitting here.
I know. Wait a minute. I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of people that had the Omega Siege but did not have the Elite Siege. And I'm like, why didn't you buy them in the event? Well, I missed a lot of the event days, so I didn't get all the parts.
Oh, ouch.
I was laughing so hard when they told me that.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping between this event and the next time that they drop the Omega Siege bases, I will collect the last ones I need and have my Omega.
Me and Killa B did help one of my guys. He was at 37, and in one drop, we got him this 43 parts.
Nice. Very
but
good.
he was getting some nice payouts. I'm not going to lie. But when I did mine, my first 1 through 40, I was getting 7s, 3s, 5s. I was getting very few 1s. I hit 40. It was nothing but 1s all the way through.
Yeah, well, you got me beat. I've been getting 1s the whole time I've been doing it. And I said, fuck it, after 6.
I haven't gotten a 7. I got 5.
David, you just happen to be the statistical unlikelihood.
Yeah, you're the oddball, David.
Yep, I will be the oddball. But that's all right. It's all gravy.
Now, while we've got you here, Roy, I asked this of the rest of the panel members and some of the people out on YouTube. You played on the first day because you host, like we do, you host the event show live.
Yep.
You had issues with lag and everything because obviously you're hosting and running the show. YouTube.
You know what? To be honest, I had a lot less because I was running 2 computers.
Yeah.
Right now, tonight, I'm only running 1 computer, and when I know I do that, it bites me in the ass.
Okay. Since the downtime that they did, and they fixed the turret speeds and all this other stuff, have you noticed you're still kind of hashing it out and you're still going through your motions? Have you noticed any difference or it's just a blur of boredom, and you're just going through the paces like a machine. You're just killing bases 1, 2, 3, and not really caring.
To be honest, I'm still getting DC'd about the same.
Okay.
But the lag has been really fluctuating, and I also could tell it's from the amount of numbers that come on, different time zones coming on, and you could tell that. But in general, it's a little better than what it was. But
okay,
I still think they got some more tweaking to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
Yeah. There's
eventually it will get better as they redesign certain aspects of the game, according to Friendly Fixer in the podcast, and according to Wrong Thinker at one point in time. They're looking at the walls to change.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't. Now wait a minute. I don't like that idea. Okay.
Well, hold on. Understand this. They're not. What was mentioned in the podcast wasn't fundamentally redesigning them as an aspect of what they'll look like or what they'll do. I still think they have to fix walls and make them hold splash the way they were marketed.
Now that's what I was about to bring up, because we did the test on the walls for splash when the power plant goes off. Now, according to what they were advertised originally as the walls, the splash should not go through the walls.
Exactly.
That's what it was advertised. That's how we all took it, how it was explained to us originally. And we did the test, and not only did it eat the walls.
Oh, it destroyed 2 buildings either side.
All the way around it, no problem. Yeah. I mean, it was just, wow.
Well, it's because it's because of the way splash worked. If the splash itself was targeting the wall itself, then you wouldn't get the splash going through. But if the splash was an area effect that wasn't targeting the wall itself, then it would go through.
Yeah, that's the catch-22 that people don't quite get. That's the great thing of having fear here, is the way Kixeye words things is not always what they mean, because although they're talking about a single term, there's multiple versions of that term.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
it's not even the way
damages now.
Yeah, it's not even the way they worded it. It's just the way that the splash itself works.
Yeah.
Kixeye, for all intents and purposes, designed them to actually completely negate all forms of splash. But in the game, there were ways around it, because by targeting something that's not the wall, the splash would not be soaked up because the walls weren't the target, so their effect became negated.
And you see, Peel, that's where I think it's backwards. It should be, the way I should see it is this. For example, with our power plants as they are, the way I would have liked to see the walls work. If your power plant's on overdrive and you have it surrounded by 1 ring of walls, when the power plant is destroyed, the walls around it are destroyed, and there's a mitigated splash damage outward, maybe taking a quarter of the health off of any targetable building next to those walls.
Well, I kind of agree with you.
Okay, basically the reason why I'm saying this is in realistic theory is you would have the power plant goes off, the walls themselves are absorbing the splash and taking the damage, but the outline shrapnel, I know this is bringing like real world bullshit into a video game, but you would expect the walls to explode and that to do the damage outward. Now, my point being, if you were to put 2 rings of walls around your power plant, the power plant gets destroyed, the first walls are destroyed, the outside second perimeter of walls receives no damage. They hold all of the damage in, and nothing touching the outside ring of walls has any damage.
Realistically, yeah, sure.
That's what I would have liked to have seen.
Have fun coding that.
Right. Now, this thing puts logic, okay? It's kind of hard, I dabble with coding.
I'll tell you.
That would be a coding nightmare.
No. I'll tell you why it won't work. And it's something that Wrong Thinker has already talked to about the landmines. It's because to code it in that fashion, it would be a percentage damage, and Kixeye does not want to have percentage damage coding. Because what you would have to do to code the walls to effectively do that is the walls would take a percentage of damage, and that would then decrease the percentage the next set would take, which would decrease the percentage that the next thing. So if the internal walls took 50%, that only leaves 50% to be shared to the external walls, which would then, by process of reduction, take 25%, which would leave them standing. You see? Yeah. So the explosion 100 becomes 50, 50 becomes 25, and then everything outside wouldn't get touched because you haven't penetrated but a quarter of the you know.
I'm going to give you guys all an example of splash damage, area damage, and whatnot. Look at the Juggernaut. Look how it hits. Mm-hmm. It hits a wall. The walls are still standing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Look at the Herald. When you target a wall on a Herald, or you target a bunker, tower, whatever, and there's walls around it, what happens to those walls?
They slowly can, you know, depending on the ranges. Yeah, they slowly dissipate.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's surrounding something, the walls are pretty much gone with the Herald.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different type of damage: splash damage, area damage, direct damage, whatever you want to call it. Different types, different shots.
Exactly.
So,
it's like if for those who have Sunder and play with him, if you do, I think the 35 base has it, and there's a couple other ones where there's both level 10 walls and max level walls in the same base. If you hit a level 10 wall with Sunder, it'll kill like I think 3 walls on either side of the wall you target. But if you shoot at a max level wall, it'll only kill that one wall, and it takes, I think, it's really obnoxious. It takes like 2 shots to kill a max level wall. And it's super obnoxious because the walls near it absorb the splash. It's the kind of splash that the walls absorb. Whatever kind of splash Sunder does, those walls absorb it. But the level 10 walls it don't, and so it has the full whatever splash it has.
Yeah, see the issues that arise are, like David said and Fear says and you say, it's the style of splash that is being put out by each individual unit. You've got things like grenaders that are throwing in extensive grenades. Their splash damage is way different than Sunder, which would throw out a mortar style round, and the mortar splash is different than the Juggernaut, which sends out a shell style splash. And then you have the like we said, the Omega Herald or the Herald, which is dropping a bomb and a bomb style splash damage. And then you have, of course, missiles which drop, and their missile style splash damage. So each individual unit and their individual style of attack and their specific, type of damage then throws to a different type of splash damage that occurs when that round goes off, be it grenades or bullets or shells or bombs or missiles or what have you. And there's the skull base. I love that skull base. And Roy Boy, you were wrong. You said this looked like you said it looked like a peckerhead or something on your show when it first came out.
I didn't say that, but one of my people did, and I
love how they designed the base around the skull with the eyes are the rocket and the nose is the drone silos. I love that.
Yeah, and the upper jaw is all the
such a stupid base.
I just hope Kixeye aren't watching me do this whole base with just Dina.
No, fuck it. I don't care.
They're gonna make adjustments next event, anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry. When they see the numbers, I don't care if they extended it a day. When they see the numbers of actual XP per gold, I think you're gonna find a little change coming.
Players just know I did my part. I did not go ape shit and get like 60,000 XP.
Now, I think what is the top? What is the top right now? I think 50 mil.
I'll tell you here in a second. Hold on.
It is a pretty easy event. I mean, you don't really need to go. You don't take much damage.
51 mil.
I just don't think that we should judge. I'm just going to throw it out there that I don't think we should judge a difficulty of event based on someone who doesn't really care how difficult it is.
Yeah, I know Quick.
Holy shit.
Quick and Killer B have both been on my show several times. Quick's a producer for me, matter of fact, now.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched him. We watch and do hangouts all the time, and his skill level is good. I mean, he can smash a damn base and take some shit down.
A lot of the people that are up on that top, it wouldn't matter how difficult Kicksai made this event.
That's what I was about to say. That's it.
It wouldn't matter.
Those guys like Quick, if you put a challenge in front of him, he's going to figure it out. He's going to get it done. And now he's, as he calls it, the Air Padini. 90% of people are running shit to people's bases like Fairlanks and this and that. He has literally figured out how to do almost even upper level bases with just air. Now he also, his Air Padini, Air Flat.
You should call it Air Flatbread then. I guess a panini is like a flat.
he's got mad skills, and matter of fact, he showed me quite a bit how to do most of these bases. But he's also, I'm not going to lie, he coins. So I mean, but his goal was to do the event, load up with the tokens, do what he wanted, and now I think it's just a pride thing. Now I can't lie, I know for a fact I'm under 5, but I'm above 15. Where the hell in there I am, I would not want to guess. But it's crazy to see the number of 51 million.
51,300,000 and something thousand for number one. And then just below that, I think, is what, 30 odd million or 20.
41.
The lowest one is 41 on the top list, and then it goes down to 26.3.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at, but you are looking at level 47s, level 44s, 48s.
Close to 50.
Yeah. So, I mean, so you've got a higher echelon player with higher level units that have maxed out their stuff over time and coin and effort. So that's, you expect to have high number rolling through this on a friggin', on a merry-go-round of just going through it, do it again, go through it, do it again, go through it, do it again. Whether you're repairing your air via coin or you don't have to repair your air because your units are teched out properly and you've gotten it down systematically to roll through this event. You expect that from a high-level player. What I'm happy to see this time round is you're not seeing level 32s and 35s.
Yes, absolutely.
In that so as long as Kicksai, I ragged on Kicksai when they were complaining about the lack of PvP playership during the, during that special event that we have. We only have a 4-hour bubble. And I said, I basically said, look, you're looking at the data wrong. You're looking at the numbers wrong. You're assuming that the raw data translates over both aspects of a standard PvP season and a PvP season when there is only a 4-hour bubble per player. And I common sense tried to explain, you got to take your data information, separate it, and figure out where you really stand in PvP. I hope they do the same thing with this. Yes, you have ridiculous numbers of XP being earned, but the player base that's earning it is in that top level tier. And
you also extended it a whole 24 hours.
But you can balance that out with the number of players that unfortunately were not able to put in the amount of seat time that they otherwise would have. So yes, you've extended 24 hours of gameplay for everybody, but if you take out 30% of the player base that didn't get 48 hours of play because it was constantly loading errors, lag, disconnect.
What about the damage people were taking though for bullshit reasons?
Yeah, that's every day for me. How many times?
Well, the amount of DCs that I took, I was very lucky. I don't automatically, as soon as it lets me deploy, I don't automatically deploy 9 times out of 10. I give it a second, and then I deploy. Usually that gives me the DC without getting the damage because my shit's not deployed. So I've been fortunate that way. I've learned my lesson not to, hurry up and go. But I know a lot of people, as soon as they think they can deploy, they DC.
That's always been a big thing and a concern for things like Invasion and Onslaught. When you are holding yourself to a time, to push for the fastest time, you're naturally predisposed to actually want to rush in, hit that, deploy, hit the attack, start moving your units. And when you have issues like this, where you disconnect, freeze up, lag out, you've already started the attack, and now you can't defend because it's doing its own thing, and you are in the ether waiting to get back into the game. Another problem that I've seen is in the old days previously, and I understand where this is coming from. This is to fix issues with people cheating. But in the old days, when you had to refresh the screen, you refreshed, came right back into your base. Now, when I refresh a game, because I've had a disconnect or freeze, I refresh to my players, my Kixeye page, because I play on KXL, but I go to my Kixeye, my actual page, not the actual game. So because of that, it adds more time of me waiting to load back into the base, and that all adds to time and damage that I'm taking while I'm no longer in control. So it's a pain in the ass, but it is something that we all have to deal with now. Again, something to touch on today's show about things that have changed over the last year or two.
Well, the only thing I'm going to be honest that's changed, that's still in my mind that's bugging me, is the leaderboard. They took 8-9 months to correct it. And if I go onto the leaderboard and I hit the event and I hit my position, you know what it does?
It's black screen.
No, I get nothing. It just sticks right to where it was.
Yeah, it sticks to right where it is, and all the. Do you even get numbers up first, or just green? I just get black bars.
Oh no!
Until
if you
move.
Yeah, it was doing that yesterday. Right now, it's loaded them where I could see Fred right off the bat, Quick right off the bat, Killer B right off the bat. It's doing that, but when I click my position, it's supposed to bring me to me, correct?
It should bring you to you. You should be the highlighted display. You should have a highlighted frame around you, and you should be in gold. And it should say what your number is on the board, how many. That's where you should be able to find out exactly how much total event XP you've earned. But you can't.
Now, I would just like to echo the thoughts of a good friend of mine, who would say something that, I love the new additions of them, changing the way power works and bringing strategy back into the game. But I would just like to know where I am on the leaderboard.
That's it. I mean, where am I? I mean, just give me that little information. It
would be very nice, instead of on the leaderboard it telling you how much infamy you have currently or XP you have currently, telling you your total XP gain and maybe what place you are on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I would like to have seen, knowing now that we can't see it on the leaderboard, I would have liked to have seen it echoed in the overview. When you go into the Sins of Our Father and you have your prize list and you have your overview, I would have liked to have seen both your current and your cumulative listed in that window. Two separate colors. There you go. You have your current one, which is what you draw off of for your prize list, but it should list your cumulative.
Well, one thing that somebody said, that's one thing that they requested since the beginning, when you do on the infamy and especially the sector or whatnot, they originally said that they were asking for hints of what people would like to see, and they also wanted to see tags.
Yeah,
if they could have slid the tags in there. A lot of people would have said, they were looking for that. They were excited they hear that was one of the options they were playing with. It never happened. Now I just wish I could find myself, and I'd be, screw the tag. Just let me find myself.
There you go.
I just don't see why I need to open the leaderboard to see how much XP I currently have in the event when it's on the little pop-up that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
But it is what it is. It's, they did a lot of work. They came out with one when it worked for 48 hours or so. It was awesome, and people were upset. Again, another change that occurred for those who have been out of game for a long time, deployment of platoons. They've reversed the cycle. It used to be platoons that had been deployed onto the world map were at the bottom of your screen. They've reversed it. So the top platoons are now the ones that are out on the world map. So it's easier.
I got to be honest. I was one of the ones on the forum that were
You didn't
bitching
like
about it at first, but now it's like I love it now that I got used to it.
It's so much more efficient when you're trying to move around the world map.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
I poked fun at you, Roy, for saying that you hated it. It's bullshit. I don't know where my
I didn't call it bullshit. I said I hated it, though. I did say I hated it. I'll call it like I did.
All right, guys. Everybody hates freaking change.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Everybody will hate it, and then they grow to love it. It's just like we used to be able to, honestly, micro repair our air. How many of you remember that? Now you have to wait for your platoon to fully repair before you can move stuff out.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, there is ways around that. However, they rechanged it up again, so now you can't really micro repair your stuff.
Yeah. Used to, I mean, there was the way around it where you could reposition units. You have to know going in, building your air platoon specifically. We'll talk about air. But you, as a player, have got to know going in what units are your bread and butter units. Place them in position within the platoon tabs in your base so that those are the primary repairs and the lesser important units are on the tail end. So as it goes down the line repairing units, your primary air is the first one to get priority. Used to be you could kind of skip around a little bit. They had it so that you could stop the build and then restart it, and it would skip over and go to the next one that was completely dead. So you could sort of do a little bit, stop it, so it was just deployable, and then start again, and it would ignore the one that was deployable and go to the next one. It doesn't exactly work that way anymore. But as long as you know which units you are going to need, you can have those be the first that get repaired.
Oh yeah.
So it does it. It puts a lot more thought and technique and deliberate strategy in our hands than
strategy. What is this thing called strategy?
Are you telling me that to play this game we have to like think?
No, I'll define strategy. It's a really simple definition. Things Kickside does to make them profit.
Now that's exactly what I would call it.
No, it's called deploy all your shit. Hit Ruby.
Ruby cried.
That's strategy.
Yeah, that's a kind of strategy, I'd say.
That ain't strategy for anybody.
No. There are still players and there are still bases that you can go into and Ruby them to death. There are. I'll be the first one to say when we start these war paths and we start these infamy seasons, I go in, I select specific players, specific bases, and I go in and I Ruby the shit out of them with air. And right off the bat, my first 10 attacks simultaneous, boom, I'm up to 1,000. Right, boom, 5 minutes, 1,000. Where other players, they hit one person, they're in there controlling, they go to the next person, and because they've gone to the next player and now they've banked some infamy, they now don't have the full 100 payout. They only have 90 payout, and then the next player gives them 60, and then now I'm sitting there with 1,000 in 5 minutes, and they've spent 15 minutes, and they're sitting on 700, and they're like, well, what the this sucks. Well, that's how you do it. If you can go into a base and just deploy 3 bone saws and go into another base and deploy a bunch of furies and go to a third base and deploy your siege squadron and go to another place and get them all attacking simultaneously, you will have multiple attacks, multiple payouts. But
Venom targets the level 3s, man.
Fuck yeah.
You all know.
I just wish I was able to target the level 2s with the 60 friggin' or 6,000 infamy and shit, but
I thought they were supposed to be banning them.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I know you are too, Roy.
There's still 2 or 3 that the other day we were looking at for me and Quick that had over 2,000 infamy for a level 2.
I'm glad they can't be hit or hit people. I just don't think that's solving the level.
Oh no, they could hit people. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that was the issue. They were able to hit up and collect, but nobody above them can hit them. But now the fix was that you will no longer be able to bank infamy until you meet level 3 requirement. And as a level 3 player, we can kill you.
Yep. Now what got me is okay. So here's a question: on all those level 2 accounts that had, let's say, 2,000 infamy, if you're hitting a freaking base, right? You get res regardless. They have to be at complete 0. You don't have to get any res off of them, which is almost damn near impossible to happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna get XP from that. How do these level 2 stay level 2?
That's a conversation that.
Yeah, that's a conversation that we cannot answer or talk about truly.
Wait a minute. We in the past have talked to Long Thinkers initialized this a long time, and I mean a long time ago when the show was not even, there was no Unshackled. Let's put it just that way, because I still won't name that other thing. He addressed that. To get out of level 2, you have to do certain things, period. It doesn't matter what it is. It was certain things at the time. And that's one of the reasons why the tutorial has never changed and why certain things have never changed. It will lock them at that level for a little while.
Yeah.
But if they accidentally do a certain thing to upgrade it, guess what happens?
Yeah.
They're automatic. It doesn't matter where they are. They're going up.
Yeah, well, and Kickstarter is taking care of all those infamy banks. What are they? Raiders.
And you know what makes me really happy? They didn't give no warning about that. They just did it. So all the people didn't have time to hurry up and grab their infamy before it just went poof.
Gone.
And by the way, I was sitting in not my sector, in another sector. Well, we were beating up on them, but we're beating up on them, and game goes down, and I'm getting ready to pop my bubble, and I look over, and there's a freaking trader with a level 2 had so much infamy, and he's gone. And yes, I was laughing. I was laughing hard.
Hey.
Oh, if I could have played that in the sector, I probably would have.
But yeah, it is what it is, and Kickstarter has resolved that issue. So yeah, congrats, kudos to you, Kickstarter, for that one.
Kudos is right.
Give them 60 days for all the little late ones that, like you're saying, you see 1 or 2 still out there, that haven't caught up yet. But
they'll get nailed.
With each passing of the code, when they keep throwing this out over the next couple of days and couple of months, they'll all get wiped off, and then we'll go back to playing a fun game without so much bullshit.
I do have a question for the whole panel about the event.
Yeah, sure.
You guys do the 5 mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. And you do the base 15, and then you go back in your base. How long does it take you guys to load?
5 minutes.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Yeah, I've already brought that up. It takes literally 5 minutes after you do your defense wave, your first 3 attack waves, and you go back into your base. It takes 5 minutes. And it did not matter what computer I was on or my internet speed, because one computer I play on has multi-homed gigabit connections, and these are to the backbones.
Well, look, let's touch on this real quick. What was mentioned in I'm not a tech savvy person, but what was mentioned and alluded to in the Bernie podcast, for those that didn't watch it, what they're saying is your internet speed is a more minor issue and influence than perceived. What they're saying now is, because the way Flash, as he explained it as a friendly fixer put it, because the way Flash as a system produces images and runs the game, the majority of all things are cached and run through your computer's CPU, its mathematical central processing system. Your internet speed, your graphic processing, these things aren't as primary an important task as your actual chipset. So if you have a more modern computer, multi-threaded chip set, like an i7, i9 is the newest one's i9,
Yes, i9 is the newest.
So you should see
or the Ryzen or whatever.
Ryzen, yeah, Ryzen's. But those should see far less issues. And I don't know if anybody out there on YouTube or those who are a part of the Facebook page, but I would like to call on the community to answer me a question. If you've had a former computer, or you have a friend that plays on an older computer, maybe an i5 or an early i3 chip, okay, and you happen to have just bought a new gaming laptop, or you got a new tower system that you've built, and you have an i7 or an i9 or whatever. If you have a Marxist difference between the two generations of chips, does he have worse or better gameplay when it comes to rendering images, motion for the moving turrets?
Well, I'm going to answer that for you. I have a nice gaming computer. I have an Asus. It was bought like 2 years ago. It's got an i7, a very nice chipset. Okay. And then I got a guy in my clan, Huntsman. He's got like a 2005 computer, and his chipset's definitely different.
Okay.
There's a huge difference. There's a freaking huge difference. I have like no problems. He has problems every single freaking day.
Okay. So there's one part of data. What I'm trying to find out is if there's ever a player who has very good internet and an old computer and has better gameplay than somebody who has very poor internet but a very high-end computer. And subsequently, somebody who has a potato computer and has shit, and a person who has high internet speed and high, because I know Daba's been pissy about his internet, but that's his problem.
I'm just saying that it is a miracle that this game fucking runs on my computer, because I have an i3 shitty ass computer, and somehow I log in every day and the game works.
Okay.
With an old Mac.
Fuck Macs. Macs are not for gaming.
You guys just jealous that mine runs better than all yours.
Your internet speed is a big factor.
Huge factor. Huge factor. I run when I'm at work. My internet speed's probably a quarter of what I am at home, and I can tell the difference. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I got an Intel Xenon processor in mine right now.
Dude, you got a freaking engineering laptop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's like running a workstation.
You have a portable workstation, okay?
Yeah. Here's my point. I got a great computer, and there's nothing wrong at all with my computer.
Right.
But if I have a shitty connection,
you see
from that one company, we dare not say their name.
We do not
fucking
give them
motherfuckers, man.
Tell me how you really feel, champ.
Yeah, my game is gonna act like shit, man. I'm gonna get disconnects, and internet speed it's a big part of the gaming experience with this game.
You have to remember that the flash file that downloads every time you load this game is not a small file.
No, it's not. No. It's huge.
It's very huge. It's multiple packages. And then if you look at, let's say, what your browser is using, okay? You watch the browser that it's using. You're browsing Facebook, it's using maybe 400 meg. The minute you load this game, in Firefox, it's roughly a little over a gig. In Chrome, it's about 1.6 gig. So, I mean, it's a very big file. So it's going to take time for it to download each time. And each time you go into something new, it's re-downloading a little piece of that data. So,
yeah. So let me ask you guys something, because I don't really know much on the IT side, as probably some of you guys here on the panel, but clearing your cookies and cache. Why should
whole milk?
No. Why? No, I've been playing on Game Room for a while, but my question is, why should that even matter on Game Room?
Game Room is still downloading and putting stuff in the temporary internet files, where your browser puts it, or in the Windows temp directory. It's still there.
Game Room seems to be its own kind of browser, though.
It is, but it is still downloading into those directories. Okay, that little folder.
Yeah.
Now, most people don't see that folder or will ever access that folder. But running a cache cleaner will do it, like CC cleaner or IO bit cleaner or something along those lines.
So what my point is, clearing your cookies and cache in Chrome, that's not going to do shit for Game Room, is it?
If it hits the same directories, because sometimes Chrome will put it in Windows C temp, then it'll also put files in your temp directory that's in your profile itself. So it varies. I mean, running a cleaner, though, what it does is if you run a true cleaner, then it's actually deleting Flash files, it's deleting Java files, it's deleting all
It's not going to hurt your system, basically.
It's not going to hurt your system one bit. It actually might make it a little faster clearing all these files. So
I'm just saying that anytime I have problems loading the game on my shitty computer, if I clear my cookies and cache, refresh my browser.
I said, look, you're going to clear your cookies, you got to use whole milk, and if you want to clear your cache, that means you have an ex-wife. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's very true on both parts.
And secondly, I've got to bust balls. Hunter Hamish, you do not have a top-of-the-line gaming computer. You have a fucking Dell.
No.
Yeah, mine's a Dell.
But once again, yours is a workstation. It's truly not a gaming PC.
Alienware is not gaming.
Yeah, yours was never designed for gaming. Yours was designed to do like AutoCAD, Photoshop, Illustrator, number crunching from fucking hell. So there's a big difference, champ. I mean,
I don't give a shit.
Your laptop would run rings around most people's desktop unless they have like a high-end gaming desktop.
I mean, despite what my computer is, I'm just saying the internet speed is
it's the biggest factor in the game.
It makes a difference.
It's a huge factor. And basically just to parse my own personal opinion, again, I'm not a techie person, but basically what you have, champ, is you have a computer that would be absolutely remarkable at taking and creating a game. So it's very good at running the game. It's not designed specifically to run the game. It's actually designed better to crunch all the numbers and do all the mathematical equations to produce the images if you were drafting, for example, or drawing it out in a CAD key program or something like that. To make basically what you saw on the podcast when they rendered the 3D imagery of the Sphinx, or before that it was the Rim's skin. So running that graphics program on your computer, no problem. Does the numbers, does the math, awesome.
Try running that program and plus playing the game at the same time.
Your laptop probably could do it with no problem, honestly.
Yeah. So it's a very powerful system, and you're very lucky to have a powerful system.
Yes.
And then I just wanted my own perspective. It's a question legitimately that I've had long before this podcast brought it up, about how this game is run. It's not run on your graphics as far as the images. They're run, at least from what they're explaining, it's running through your computation systems. It's basically bottlenecking all the other processes, constantly running off of your CPU chip, which is what I worried about, because I was worrying if there was a big difference between not just speed of internet, because we've had so many years of players with super fast connections, super fast fiber optics connections, hardwired or running on wireless connections. Having like Shadow Killer had recently, before he walked away from the game, he just upgraded his internet router to a gaming router, a very expensive gaming router. He has a high-end gaming tower, and he was still having disconnects and lags and issues and teleporting units and blah, 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 blah. So I wanted, from my own personal perspective, and I appreciate everybody out there who chimed in. I just wanted to get a grasp of whether or not it was me who thought, well, maybe it is more the internet and less the computer, or more the computer and less the internet. It really is a combination of both. You have to kind of have everything running for you to have this game run smoothly, just because, again, it's a 7-year-old game. It's running on old code. It's held together by barbed wire and chewing gum.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Chicken wire and chewing gum. Chicken wire.
To have, as far as your internet connection speed goes, okay, 1.5 meg up isn't going to cut it. You need to have at least 3 to 5 meg up.
I've seen 1.5 run it. I have seen it.
It does run it, but you will have lag, you will have disconnects, you will have loading issues.
Oh yeah, and you're definitely not sniping. You're definitely not. You're not into the big fights. And if sometimes in a bigger base, you're going to not even see the base. You're going to be lucky if you can see your tunes.
Yeah. So it will run it, but the internet connection does play a big part in it.
Well, the other reason I bring this topic up is for those out there that play on a non-gaming computer and they have like a family laptop that the kids have their games on, and the wife does her, her eBay shopping and all of this stuff, and you've got all your family vacation photos. If what they're saying on that podcast is true, get as much stuff as you can off of your computer's memory. Free up as much memory on your computer as possible. The more space you have, the easier this should then be able to use, temporary files and cache memory and cause less issues. When you have more and more and more things, bar mitzvah video and whatever, it should hamper your computer's
the more
ability.
shit you have running down at the bottom of your screen, you're running in your taskbar, when you click on that little thing that shows all the little programs by your clock that's running, those count towards your performance.
Yeah.
If you're going to play this game on an old laptop, I hate to say it this way, but disable all your startup crap. If you need help with that, if you message me, I don't care. I'll help you. I'll tell you. You tell me what operating system it is, and I'll tell you how to disable it.
If you're running a Mac, you have no issues because you're running a good computer.
Shut up.
Shut up. But that being said, I mean, if you're running Windows XP, which isn't supported anymore, there's ways of disabling a lot of your startup group. Antivirus. That running in the background will hurt your system, depending on which ones you're running.
Friendly Fixer did say the animations, the game animations, do make a difference too.
I'm sorry. Yes. Wait a minute. I really wanted to say something about that. Okay, the game animation, trophy movement, all that stuff's supposed to hurt. Is going to hurt you. But why do they build it that way? Why do they build it that way if it's going to hurt people?
Because remember, they're not catering to one specific group of people. They're catering to everybody. And it's part and parcel of video game. Well, part and parcel, a video game has to have animation, obviously. Otherwise, we'd be going back to 1970, playing like Pong.
You just turn them off.
Well, and this is a good point. You're going to turn them off. Remember, when you turn off animations, you're not turning off animations. You're turning off your visualization of animations. Everybody else will still see them. So remember this, for those who are afraid, if I turn off the animations, I lose the defensive benefits of my trophies and shit spinning around in my base when somebody comes to attack me. When they come to attack you, if they have all their crap on, those animations are still going to occur. What happens is you don't see them, but they will.
Hey, Slim, do you have any trophies? Slim.
He may be having his mouth stuck with something.
Okay, I thought I wasn't muted. I was on a different page playing the game. I was playing the game. I don't know what y'all doing.
Do you have any trophies?
I have 0 trophies.
Oh, what a fucking noob.
You didn't even get the Easter egg?
Nope. I don't want it. I don't need it. I will get an event trophy when I get everything in the store. And I sold XP. And I do not have everything in the store yet. I have not mastered an event yet.
Well, basically,
getting everything in the store, honestly, because some of them are unlimited purchases. So you'll never get.
No, but I mean, like, I just finished getting. I don't have Hornets yet. I don't have what's the other shit I'm still trying to get.
You don't
Shock
even need
turret.
them. The shit.
I know, but
Slim,
I
Slim,
still
do you
don't
have
have
shock?
them.
Slim, do you have a shock turret?
Nope,
Bitch.
I don't have them.
He just said he needed to buy it.
I plan to get it because I really hope that they're gonna do something with all the old turrets, and it'd be nice to have anyway. Because they may not release it again for another
I really, it was literally the first thing I spent XP on, and it's specifically because it was a turret that I wanted, but I didn't get it because I went for a shock.
Dude,
tanks.
I'm just saying that it hasn't been available in 6 years. I'm just picking it up because it may not be available for another 6 years.
I really, really wish they brought the Zombifier back.
That's Halloween events only, and they did.
They didn't bring the turret. They didn't bring the turret back. They changed it and put the tech in. They have not brought the Zombifier turret back, and a very good former. Well, I don't know if I'm sure he still plays, but the Godfather, who was an awesome player back in my home sector when I first started, he was lucky enough to have that turret. He's probably got every goddamn thing there is. But yeah, that hasn't come back. I don't have that. I don't have the zombie tech for the RAVs. I don't have the zombie turret for the RAVs. I have the zombie tech, the newer zombie tech, like for the heroes. But that's it.
I just want to say, if you have your trophy animations turned off, even if you enter another player's base and they have theirs turned on, you can't see theirs.
No, that's what I'm saying. All animation settings are only yours. So if your trophy animations are off and you go into every other base, their shit won't move. If your trophy animations are on, you will see it. Okay, take it easy.
Bye, Fear.
Is there any shout-outs
Next time, guys.
Hey, Phil. Hey, fuck a Mac.
I take it Fear wants to shout out to Apple. Take it easy.
Later.
Yeah, whatever.
He's getting off now before his Mac kicks him off.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's overheating. He's starting to smell apple pie cooking. He's like,
He was about to see.
No, everybody's quiet and I can cut in for a minute here. I apologize.
about time.
Dude, no, you guys have been talking so fucking much. I actually looked at my wife. I'm like, they won't shut up. I can't talk. I just wanted to say right now for the record that my computer is a pile of shit, but I have phenomenal internet connection. And I really...
Holy shit, damn it.
What the hell happened there?
I was really looking forward to what he was about to say.
Phenomenal internet.
He's got phenomenal.
He must have that one company that just connects all of a sudden.
Y'all are a bunch of hoes.
You're
All
sick.
right. Doxing, please. Okay, you have phenomenal internet. Go ahead.
No, but I was just saying. I mean, like my computer's a pile of shit. I mean, legitimately, we can go through and look at my computer. It is a pile of shit, but my internet is really, really good, and I legitimately don't have too many problems in the game. I mean, I have just as much lag with these events that everybody else has, but I mean, Champ can contest, man. I can outsnipe a lot of people. I don't have a lot of problems, and like I know for a fact my computer's a pile of shit. I mean, it was bought back in fucking 2005. It's a piece of junk.
That's the land before time computer right there.
But I'm just saying. So I mean, realistically, I mean the computer that I play on. I mean, yeah, okay, my computer's not good enough to run Hangouts and the game at the same time. But I mean, legitimately, I don't have any problems in the game, and I know for a fact it's all because of my internet connection.
Well, that's why you run two separate computers with Hangouts, and then on one computer, and then the game on a separate computer. Devo.
That's correct. That's exactly why I do it. Until I buy my new fucking laptop, whenever that's going to happen, I don't know.
Did I call you Data?
No.
No.
Devo.
No, you call me Devo.
Okay, I was just because I was thinking of Data, man. That dude is one of the fastest snipers I've ever seen on the game, and I just want to know what kind of. Yeah, I know he's told us what system he's running.
Data King has a monster computer. He does not shit around with his system, and he's very, very knowledgeable at building systems. So
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm just saying one of the bugs that I'd really like to get fixed is for me not to be champ.
What's wrong with you being champ, huh?
I'm just saying that I like my Arkham Knight, and I'd really appreciate it to stay there for more than, an hour or so before it like disappears and some random person's photos there.
You look so happy.
Yeah, now, dude, if we weren't doing an event, you'd be fucking smashed right away by jump into the sector thinking you were me or something.
I know, man. I just want my Arkham Knight there so that I can be happy with myself and not some random bald person who's not me.
How do you know he's bald? He's got a batter's hat.
No, I mean,
I had a My Little Pony picture yesterday.
Today it happens to be champ, but it could be some random sailor. It's like you never know. They just like flip the coin and give us a picture.
That's okay, Slim. The other day, all the event bases had your stupid picture.
Yeah, that happened in my sector too. The last event was just random, like you go to a aircraft
I'm
base.
just saying that I think personally that's karma for somebody hitting my base during an event.
Now, who would do such a thing?
I don't know.
Let's find out. I'm gonna go hit Slim and see if it changes.
That'd be funny. Everybody hits Slim. Every bubble he pops, hit him. He changes his picture. The last person that smashed him.
No, for real though. Yesterday I had My Little Pony picture, and I was like, really? Of all things, My Little Pony.
Hey, you got to find whose picture that really is and go smash them.
I wanted to. If I could, if the jump was open, I probably would have tried to hunt that down. But
I've been hunting down every other player with Venom. I have. I'm accruing a list of Venoms and smashing their bases.
The things we have to do in this game to have fun.
Right.
Hey, it's my name. I wanted it. I might not have been first, but damn it. Is there any topics left to discuss? We've.
I did want to bring up this. I did want to bring up this another event thing. I've been this is day 3. I think that's been going on. That I get to the base 65. Now 3 days I hit the attack, and guess what happens when I hit to the 65? There's none in my range, so I have to go hunt and peck. For 3 days it's been like that, and I thought maybe it was just me. Nope, everyone that's around me and up to the north, same thing. Now you figure by 3 days they figure out how to, one would spawn closer to us.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, the spawning of the bases is still a problem.
I think they turned down the spawn ratio. I think like at the beginning of the event, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the spawns are a lot higher, and then towards the end of the event they tail off and they don't respawn as much.
Well, I've been going on for 3 days. I got to go hunt and peck for this damn 65. It pisses me off.
Hunter makes a point out there on YouTube. A lot of players.
Hunter made a good point or just a point?
A good point.
Okay.
This is something that I know you've actually brought up. Support tickets. Well, he puts out expiring before they're answered.
Oh yes, I've already had that this whole event.
Yeah, they're being closed without responses.
Or what most of them do is they just say answered.
Okay.
And that is really funny because when there's nothing underneath it, why is it answered?
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be nice to have support. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
Well, take your
if you didn't look like Champ, maybe you'd get support.
No. Champ gets special support.
Now's the time to submit your ticket, Slim. That's the only time you're going to get some fucking reimbursement.
Hang on. I'm going to answer on that support ticket thing. Okay. All right. As far as the experts, the player experts that are answering your tickets, those ones are probably going to end up expiring because,
I got a player expert that actually named my sector today.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's a player expert. I mean, they can only do so much. If they can't answer your question, just say, hey, route it to Kickside. And then Kickside is going to get it. Okay, fine. If you have, let's say, 5 tickets that say the exact same thing or pretty much the same wording, like, hey, I've got lag. You put a ticket in today. All right. 4 hours later, you're putting in another ticket. Hey, this lag is getting to me. Whatever, They're going to just say resolved or answered, and then they're going to go right to they're going to keep one of your tickets open. So if you have, let's say, multiple tickets on the same issue, they're going to close them all.
All right. Well, one ticket I had, okay? One ticket I had was from the live show where I got DC'd, and I took damage because of the DC.
Right.
I then sent the ticket. I wasn't having huge lag problems, so I didn't send the lag ticket. I decided after, I think it was day 2 where the lag was so damn bad where I couldn't freaking do anything, I decided I was going to send a lag ticket.
Right.
You know what they told me? Those are the same thing. Have a nice day.
Well, look.
It's not the same thing. Me taking damage because you DC'd me is not the same thing of having lag.
Yeah.
That sucks in a sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
lag is I took damage because my units were not controllable. I watched all the shit dying. I retreated. Nothing happened. Yada yada. DC is I lost connectivity completely, and now I'm out of the game. What did you do? Fix my shit. They're different instances. They might have had the same result, damaged units, but they're 2 totally different events.
Exactly. Exactly.
That said, this is I want to say when my opinion came out about the player experts when it first dropped, and it was my concern, plausible deniability from Kixeye about having to pay off, compensation, putting a lot of effort onto individual people when they were able to actually get around to answering questions, if they had any knowledge at all, to give you a concise answer that would have a solution behind it. I was worried. One of my main concerns was what seems to be happening now. It's not a bad thing that it's happening, but it was a concern of mine, and it was why I had originally stated that I thought that your responses would take even longer, because, as they put it, you're put into a queue. The player experts get it first. Supposedly, you're still held in your Kixeye queue until a player expert gets back to you with I have an answer and a solution. After that answer solution, you either say that it helped or it didn't. Or, I don't have an answer or solution. I'm forwarding you back to Kixeye, where you stay in that queue, in that same position. The reason I had a concern was what you are alluding to right now, which is if they have a system where your information, your support ticket is put into a timed queue and you're holding a position, you can't hold that spot indefinitely. There has to be some sort of mitigated time frame at which a player expert doesn't respond, doesn't pick it up. You're one of the few that nobody wants to touch, so to speak.
Probably
it could be because it's an issue that there is no solution that I or any other person would ever be able to give you an answer to. So those player experts that are out there can't answer it.
Let's be honest. Most of people that know Venom, myself, many of the others that put in support tickets that are upper level champ, we know the basics of the game. So how many of those players, whatever you want to call them, are going to want to answer our tickets or even attempt to?
Yeah, and it's questions that when they see I don't know if they see your player level. I know they see your game name.
They know. From what I can tell, they can tell what sector you're in too.
Okay, well, I don't know because I haven't really had to deal with that. Fundamentally, my tickets are always going to be things that are requirements that a member of Kixeye's team would have to look into. It's stuff. If I'm sending in a support ticket, it is something that has gone wrong that only can be rectified by either fixing a unit, removing something, or paying me some sort of compensation because the error, it's a financial error. I am not going to send. I don't, because I'm tired of 6 years of cut and paste answers of clear your cache and cookies. Cycle your router. And I'm not putting them down, because yes, running your router, before an event, cycle it. You go to sleep the next morning, cycle it, get everything fresh and brand new each time you go to do your runs, do your events or whatever. It works. It works. It just does.
It does. It really does.
Okay. And you know, Skipjack has been a great, you know, queen and said this, and she hates it. She hates feeling like she's, you know, you can say in her voice when she tells us these trips and tips and tricks, but you can hear she's like, I don't want to sound like I'm one of these people just cut and paste giving you the same bullshit. It's not really bullshit. It can help. But I'm not going to send in a ticket knowing that that's a ticket where that response actually is what I'm going to get, because I already know, okay, this is what happened. Let me do the processes. Okay. Or if I've already done the process that they're going to tell me, because I know the ticket is going to come off this way, I'm not even going to waste the time. That said, my biggest worry was, and what you guys seem to be showing is, you're put into a queue, it expires, and you basically are just dropped out of the system, for lack of a better term. You're not literally dropped out, but you're given a conclusion without anybody really taking the time to answer you. And this being that either the player experts don't get around to you, they just don't care, because whatever Kixeye has been compensating them with, you know, for answering correct player issues and giving good advice, we as players who get these answers from them aren't giving glaring reviews, so they're not either getting compensated, or the compensation that they are getting for being a stellar player expert and giving great advice isn't worth their time. You know, it's different when you're stuck in an office cubicle for fucking 8 hours a day and you got nothing to do but what they tell you to do, or you're sitting on your lunch break at work and you're getting paid, you know, $35, $40 an hour, and then your cell phone chirps off and you're like, oh wow, if I answer this guy's stupid question about why this doesn't work, I get fucking 15 gold or 50 gold. You know, no, I'd rather just eat my panini and fucking, you know, go back to work. I don't know where it lands. I know I'm being cynical, but I'll
be honest. It sounds like exactly what's going on.
It comes out. You come out of the gate roaring like, you know, the Kentucky Derby, and you get a lap in, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, this isn't worth it.
Listen, all I'm saying is if I got 50 gold a ticket, bro, I'd be answering tickets.
They're not giving.
It's not. But see, that's the thing. It's not. It's Slim. That's the thing. It's not per ticket. It's per ticket and beholden to what response they get. Yes, they helped me. No, they didn't. And quite frankly, the majority of people who get solutions don't fill out the fucking questionnaires.
Well, I do know.
I got mine.
I'm a fair person.
I do, but like I said, I have not gotten a player expert response ever. Not yet.
Well, I haven't had a player expert that could actually tell me what was wrong with it. Most of my tickets is compensation from a DC in an event. Most of them during the regular, Warpath. When the DC was going on, when you attack a base, I sent a ticket. It wasn't looking for compensation. I was looking for them to acknowledge that there was this many players that were having this problem. Most of my tickets I send in are True Blue. Kixeye are the only ones that can take care of
it. My last tickets have been. I've mentioned it on the show. When they have, for example, right now they have an offer going up for was it Furies in base?
Nyx
in
our tech.
Yeah. Isn't there another one with just Furies in tech?
I don't have a clue.
There was one.
It's two Furies plus fucking something else was the other one, but that's gone, I guess. But regardless,
I have a great idea, man. Instead of taking sleeping pills, just run a show on tickets, man. Run a show on sitting tickets, man. Hey, you want to put everybody to sleep? There you go. That's the way to do it.
Well, it's
full tabs of tickets, full tabs, nothing but tickets. That's what we'll call it. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, my last response or my last questions were basically where you get these offers, and my biggest thing last time was the base upgrade. Level 10, this, and this. All my shit's over that. My turrets are over level friggin' 7 or 10 or whatever it was. So going through and you come out of your freaking world map and you go into your base, and the first thing there is a freaking pop-up ad that is of stuff that is below your current marker. And, you know, either your mouse cursor happens to be in the wrong spot at the right time, or you have an issue with the lag and load where you're clicking on the screen because, you know, I'm a fucking impatient prick and I'm clicking like, come on, fucking load. I want to get in my base. Come on, I want to do something.
Or your
and just so happens you click on the offer and there's, you know, 199 gold taken off your account, and you're like, I don't fucking want that. And it comes up with confirm. Now, the confirm picture comes up. You don't confirm it, but the gold's already been deducted from your account.
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's long gone.
So, in the past, I had to send tickets. I had to send a ticket for that. If they're gonna give us the confirmation, it should be established that the gold is not removed until you confirm. 2-part authentication. Simple. You can click on the offer. It comes up with the confirmation. You have to click on the confirmation, and that button is in a slightly different spot. So it's not like you double click on the same exact location on your screen, and boom, you're at 199 gold or 200 gold or 50 gold or 49.98, whatever the fuck the offer happens to be at the time. Every offer that is like that should have that confirmation, that double confirmation, 2-part authentication before they remove the gold. Because if not for that, you click on the offer, oops, I didn't want it. You don't confirm, you hit the red X, the gold's not gone, not removed, and the image drops off the screen, and you go about your day. And you don't have that. But being the savvy businessman I know, and something most players and people don't realize, they don't really care if you have lost your gold for 5 days or 5 minutes. The money has already transferred. They've already made interest on that. So, you know, it's gone, it's gone. Obviously, it's a little different for us because everything we buy is in packages. So the money's long since been spent. It's not like the transaction occurs instantaneous from your credit card or your bank account for that not 199 gold or, you know, $19 or whatever the hell it ends up being. But just to be savvy, I think if the confirmation window's there, they should make it function properly, where it doesn't take it until you confirm. I think that would cause a lot less headaches, especially for me, because I'm an idiot and I've done it twice.
You're click happy.
I am. I'm. You know, I click my mouse is on its highest DPI setting, and you know, I am that way.
Look, that has been an issue that I know a lot, not just you, a lot of people have had. A lot of people. And that's never going to change because there's always that one person that says, oh, it's not worth me fighting over because it's 49 gold. You know? And they don't do it. They just, okay, move on. Because 9 times out of 10, they get poor customer service in the first place.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, it is, we've done our 2 hours. So we've touched on everything pretty much that I want to talk. We talked about the event. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to have a wrap up for it because it didn't wrap up today.
Now, with that being said, everybody should go watch the Bernie's Briefing Room.
Definitely.
Bernie's podcast. Bernie's podcast. Whatever it is.
Briefing Room podcast, whatever. I do highly recommend it. If you don't get any of it, some of it you may be over your head, whatever. Message somebody, message me, message Venom. I mean, we'll try to tell you what they're saying. When
you get 500 PMs,
as politely as I can put it, I will try to dumb it down.
Here, I can dumb it down right now. 10 million lines of code, get fucked.
Yeah, about something like that. That's the way to fix it.
You have 10 million lines of code. The shit's gonna be broken one way or another. There's something wrong with it.
But they're trying to fix it.
They are trying to fix it as quickly as possible. But you got to remember, they fix one thing, it may break something else. And even he admitted to, when he tried to fix something, it broke the drones. Tried to fix this, it broke that. But they did fix it eventually. It just takes time. They're working with 7-year-old code. It's going to take time to fix it.
They don't know. I swear there's landmines in that code that people have put there just in case they get fired.
There is landmines. Why do you think we have not had a Mine Factory update?
Oh, it's coming one of these days.
It will eventually come because, you know, even Doc said it. There's landmines in this that if you change it in one shape or another, it breaks something completely different.
Yeah, that's always been surprising to me. And like, what was the last time the building broke the mines? And I was like, well, wait, but it wasn't the Mine Factory building that they touched on. It was something else. It was turrets or whatever, and mines didn't work. Like,
so, but eventually did get fixed. We had, what was it, 3 or 4 days where mines, or was it one whole?
It was like a week.
It was a week. Where
I really enjoyed that week. I could do the Iron Strike 60s and not have to worry about fucking mines.
It was all fun except we had our defensive event.
All right, as Venom said, let's wrap this bitch up. Oh, and hang on. I got to do this. Hunter, I haven't done it the whole damn show, but guess what?
I was waiting for this, to be honest. I saw this coming some way, somehow, went sooner or later.
There you go. Now you feel loved.
Okay. All righty, gentlemen, because I don't have a lady on the panel today. So, Champ, your final shout-outs, thank yous, goodbyes, whatever's.
Thanks for you guys shutting the fuck up finally. I was waiting for so I can run to the store and get some more beer and
beer.
Yeah. I'm kind of undecided on this new Envoy we have. I got mine to level 18, so I'm still playing around with it. I've heard some good and some bad about it, so I'm gonna continue playing around with that. Shout out to Kixeye and CM Bernie and his little podcast he made with Friendly Fixer. And thanks to them for being on, well, at least Bernie, for being on Discord. But, thank you guys, and shout out to you guys on YouTube.
Cool. Dark Shadows, you want to go now, or you want to go next to last?
I'll go next to last.
All right. So, in that case, Slim Shady, would you please give your shout outs and tatas?
Yeah, shout out to all the people in my wonderful clan who helped me with the certain bases that I struggled with throughout the event, and the certain phases of the event, days throughout the event. Anyway, I really appreciate it, guys. Shout out to the Kixeye team for making a great game, because it's really kept my Saturday nights interesting. And yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thank you. Roy Boy, would you like to have any shout outs?
Oh, yeah, I just want to make a quick shout out and also clarify something. I made a comment on my own show. I never named the name of a show. Never said the person's name, but that's how I do things. When I'm telling somebody they got nothing but complaints, to quit. Okay? I'm going to make it clear. It wasn't Unshackled I was talking about. And guess what?
Yes.
And you want to make a comment saying that all my show does is complain. No, I hate to tell you. When Kixeye does good, I pat him on the back. When Kixeye does bad, I kick him in the ass. So there's my shout out.
Well done. I concur 100%. A lot of times it sounds like I'm being nice to Kixeye, but I call it as I see it. Whether it's good or bad, there's good I see in things. I understand it from a business perspective. There's bad in the game, which I understand from a player perspective. I don't want to get screwed over, and I certainly don't want any of the other players to get screwed over, but I'm also not going to whine and complain for something that I know fundamentally, A, is never going to happen, or B, would cause them to just say, okay, fine, fuck it. We're not putting out the game anymore, because how are we going to spend $25,000 a day producing a game and you're not giving us $5,000 a day in revenue? That doesn't make sense. So,
what, you don't like that bad math?
Yeah, well, I'm not getting into this. That's a whole nother
To all those people, all you got to say is to those people right there, I would like to see your checkbook because I'm sure your checkbook does not look like that.
What the fuck are you giving me pictures for, David?
I didn't do it.
No, David's posted or sending me PMs with crazy trying to throw me off. See him over there chuckling. Yeah. No, but this game is obviously has to be a profitable game or they won't continue to run it. As long as it covers its bills, yes, I will get to that. As long as it covers its bills, we'll have something to play. We have a strong community and a loyal community of players. It's trying to separate ourselves from the community of crybabies that, happily Roy Boy's show and Unshackled are not a community, nor are many viewers of the other shows. But just say there are still those out there that don't want to just get a grip. And I swear to God, Slim.
Did you send a picture of My Little Pony again?
No. David, please, your last final words.
I want to thank everybody that showed up on the panel tonight. I want to thank everybody.
Oh, I seen that.
I want to thank everybody on YouTube for showing up. All the millions and millions that will watch this later. Hit the damn like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. One other thing I'm going to say. If you are on any hacking groups, any of them motherfuckers, guess what I'm going to do if you do a request? I'm going to deny your fucking ass.
Denied.
If you hide your shit, guess what? I'm going to start going through your damn friends list. If I can't find those, and you have everything fucking hidden, I'm going to deny your ass.
2,160 fucking characters you sent me, you dick, Slim.
I don't even want to know.
Neither do I, but with that being said, Kixeye, I want to thank you. Give you props. You're doing a hell of a job right now. No, I'm not kissing their ass for those people that are out there. Friendly Fixer, you're doing one hell of a job. I have talked with you, God knows how much so far. CM Bernie, loved the podcast, gave you kudos on Discord. If you haven't been on Discord, you may want to give it a shot. I mean, it is nice. There are going to be the constant bickers and complainers about stuff. But with that being said, it is a quick way to get support if you don't have it. It is a lot quicker than posting it in the forums.
A lot quicker than you're going to get from customer service.
In some cases, yes. So with that being said, thank you, Kixeye. I like to. I just wish I could have played it a little bit more, but it is what it is, and it is what it isn't.
I'm gonna post the first 200 of 2,160 characters in the War Commander YouTube chat, so everybody can see what Slim has spammed the shit out of my PMs. Unedited, unabashed. That's what he does. So.
Yeah. Oh, and one more big shout out, Hunter. We love you. We didn't love you, we wouldn't time you out.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if you guys actually stop timing him out. I think he'd actually feel lonely.
Venom. I'm just saying the one I wanted to send to you was so long that Facebook wouldn't let me do it.
So, with that said, all right. I want to thank David. I want to thank Fear the Peel. I want to thank Godscope and Champ, and are very grateful to have you join us today, or tonight, I should say, Roy, because I know you've got your shit to do tomorrow, and you've got to help out your clan and your sector for the rest of this event.
I'm about to go to bed.
Okay. I want to thank all the people out there in YouTube for stopping in and hanging out with us. It wasn't an update show. We're going to have to do some alterations. So we're going to have to run them when the updates come out. And it's looking like Kixeye's running those on Thursdays. So when we get here tell of what's going on, we're going to have maybe a new day. So we'll see how that runs.
Don't forget, he did say Subject to change.
Subject to change, as they always do. And that's why I leave it sort of open. I want to appreciate everybody who came to watch us tonight. We hopefully gave a little bit of a glimpse of some of the things that have changed in the game recently. For those who took a time away, maybe you heard a little piece of information that'll help you understand where the game is right now. Get in contact with players that have not left for any sort of time. Get in contact with the War Commander Wiki, Troy's Wiki. Search out
Still
things
the best
on.
tool out there.
Yeah, search out anything on the actual War Commander forums. You can type into the search pattern certain keywords which might help you. And if that all else fails, drop a post on the War Commander Unshackled page. I'm sure I'm not speaking for Roy, but on your page, your player base, if they have a question about something because they've stepped away from the game and are coming back, I'm sure if they leave a question on your page, you'll get that back to them with an answer.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. And if you don't know the answer, you know where to find it. You know people to ask to come up with the solutions. Because this whole thing is about keeping the community informed, especially if you've taken time off from the game or life is, you had a baby and you had to take a couple of days off for maternity and you haven't played the game and now you're back. Okay. So you didn't realize you can't take damaged units and put them into your base platoon. That's what we're here for. Get in contact with us, drop us a question. We'll try to come up with an answer or get you in touch with somebody who can answer it. As always, thank you for joining us. Come drop by tomorrow for our update and information thing. We'll hopefully run something. Roy will have his show, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Go definitely check that out. On top of that, come see us on Saturday for the European show. And if things do change, we're probably still going to maintain a Wednesday episode. We just might alter what those Wednesday episodes are. We have a lot of things that are on the table for us at War Commander Unshackled to show and to have fun. We've got RAV shows we can do. Lonnie's got the Fuck You Power Hour, which I'd like to see. And of course, we've got an upcoming, hopefully, Greatest of All Time series that can go on. So there might be something. Yeah, Goat's Gone Wild. We definitely have things that we'd like to see. So we might keep the Wednesday time slot. It's all based on whether or not Shadow Killer is okay with it and the community would like to see it. So we might end up becoming a 3-day show. So somebody will be hosting Wednesdays. It won't be me, but maybe it'll be Lonnie or Godscope or whatever. We'll find out. So with that, and because if I don't, he'll probably spam me all fucking night. Don't forget to smash that like button.
Pineapple pizza rules.
Oh,
Pineapple
God.
pizza like, subscribe. If you can, donate to Lonzo on his help for his cancer. Definitely do that. You can go through past episodes. It's also on our page to get the information to donate for Lonnie. And we'll see you tomorrow and Saturday. So as always, we're War Commander Unshackled, and we're out. Take it easy, everybody.